So Ian, with Ian Dyer, coach for Woking, lovely 2-0 win and against Southend. You set up differently today than probably in the last few games. What was the thinking around the sort of setup for the game?
Well, I think first and foremost, Joe McNerney was unavailable for selection today, and obviously Louis Annesley is away on international duty, so we shifted Casey back in there as part of the back three, and I think he had a terrific game, to be fair, as did Musa and Tom Champ, and obviously Tyreek then played left wing back and Lofty on the right, and then obviously slightly different up front. Lowe's has trained tremendously last week. I think he's made the gaffer's mind up in terms of selection today. We felt, having watched them, that probably mobility and getting down the sides of their three centre halves tactically would be the way to go, and probably a little bit smaller in terms of our forwards, but looking to kind of get balls into their feet and in behind them, and that was the way to go. And yeah, I think first half certainly you could see that. I think it was quite an even game, but I think we were certainly the team that in the first half was asking all the questions in terms of territory, and they made it tough for us second half. I've got to give Southend credit. They didn't give up. They changed their shape a couple of times themselves. I think they've ended up with probably 4 strikers on the pitch, which and throwing everything at us to try and get an equaliser and to keep a clean sheet. We stood firm at the back, and I'm as pleased with the clean sheet as I am the 2 goals.
Yeah, I think it's the first time I've seen Woking play a team with Reece Murphy and that he hasn't scored, so that's a plus. So it's
he's a threat. He's a constant threat, and even when he's having a quiet day, he's going to pop up, and he never stops moving. He's relentless with his work, and he's always playing off shoulders. And I thought the spine of our team today coped with that really well. I thought the 3 centre halves and Sol, Ince and Kretsch in front of them in that kind of central area of the pitch. I thought especially second half when we were tested for a good 20-minute spell, and getting everything thrown at us, I thought we coped with that great. And it's the sort of win you need at this league to do well. It's your typical kind of National League away performance. It wasn't free-flowing for 90 minutes. There were times when we played really well. There were also times where we had to roll our sleeves up and show that side of our game as well. And it was one of the things we've talked about in the last 10 days with the lads, is actually if we can do the basics really well, then results like this today will happen. We don't always, and we can't expect the boys always to play fantastic football and be at their absolute best. Sometimes it's about accumulating points, grinding out wins. We had quality at the right time. Tab's goal was a fantastic moment, great finish, and then obviously when we get the penalty, Max, very dependable. It's a fantastic penalty as well, and I thought in those moments we were clinical, but also defensively we were that as well. And it's a really, really pleasing performance today.
And as you say, the front players, their movement and pace was asking lots of questions at Southend all the time really, and then Tavon made just that bit of genius really.
Absolutely,
just making a bit of space.
And to be honest, we probably didn't utilise them as much as we could have in the first half. There were a couple of moments where probably a better final pass or maybe moving the ball a bit quicker would have got them in when there was space to go in behind the centre halves. But Loza and Tabs, they were constantly on the move, they were constantly a threat. They had to play slightly differently in the second half. It was more, can we get hold of the ball? Can they be a focal point for us to go and build and try and get out? Because we were being put under a lot of pressure. So, both of them worked extremely hard. Innie as well, when he came off the bench, had an impact, won some big headers, got us up the pitch, and was a threat as well. So, I think it was, it was a good day all round.
There were a few spells of pressure but what impressed me was that we didn't just go into our shell. There were a few times when we were really being pressed back, but whenever we got the chance, we just kept pushing forward. That's important, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's massively important. I think in this league as well, every team's going to have a spell. It doesn't matter whether they're in the bottom 3, up near the playoffs. Every team's going to have a spell against you, especially when you're beating them 1-0. You're not always going to have it your own way. You come to a club like this, a ground like this, they're going to have a spell against you, and it's what you do within that spell. I thought defensively, first of all, we were excellent, and then maybe didn't retain the ball as well as we could. I think there was a few loose passes. We were under pressure, and that's something we've got to work on. But it wasn't a lack of effort. I think there was loads of energy throughout the team today, and I think probably the last 10 minutes again we had some more territory in their end. Obviously got the penalty, and there were 1 or 2 other chances as well to kill the game off. And that's what you have to do at this level. It's a relentless league. There's some tough teams everywhere you go. Is a tough game, and that's what this league's all about. And I thought today was a really, really solid performance to win 3 points in the National League.
And finally, just another week on the training ground and then Stockport.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good the 10 days. You know, we always love playing games. We obviously had the friendly in there. It's you want to play games, but sometimes, you know, especially after a couple of defeats, it gives you that time to reflect a little bit and have a look at areas we can improve. And there's areas we've worked on a lot in the last 10 days, some of which we saw an improvement of today, some we need to continue to work on, and you know, we're still very much a work in progress. We have to keep progressing and improving as we go week by week, but we've got a good week now. We'll obviously watch Stockport tonight. I think they're on the TV, and they're on the TV again Wednesday, so they've got a couple of big games before Saturday as well. So it's probably going to be a tougher game than it was a couple of weeks ago with a new manager going in there as well, and they've got a fantastic squad. But so have we. You know, we're ambitious. We want to do well, and we attack every game head on, and that'll be no different come next Saturday.
Brilliant effort today, Ian, to you and all the team, and have a safe and happy journey.
Cheers. Can I just say to the fans as well, fantastic, really appreciate their support. Fantastic, travelled in great numbers. It was really loud under the roof over there, great atmosphere they created for the game, and really pleased we can send them home happy today. But they were fantastic getting behind the team, and that's very much appreciated. The lads are buzzing about that in there as well, so thank you very much.
Well over 300.
Brilliant, fantastic, what an effort.
Great.
Brilliant.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Cheers, Nico.